So the overlords are once again trying to replace humans with robots. They have this new thing I'm sure you guys have all seen by now, ChatGPT. And before you all jump on me, I have some positives to say about it. So, but also, positives, negatives, is it good or bad? Let's find out. So ChatGPT is essentially a more humanized Siri, I would say. I mean, there's a lot of features you could do with it. I've heard kids are pretty much writing essays with it and stuff like that. But it's a more humanized because it remembers your past responses and formulates a response kind of around that, which evolves just from Siri, which is Siri is pretty much just a lazy way. You get a lazy man's Safari, right? You can talk into it and you can do it on the road too. So that's beneficial also. And I'm not trying to diminish technology advances at all. Technology advances are super important. We need to get smarter. We need to, of course, compete with other countries too, but also just benefit our own country. But there is a difference between getting smarter without negatively impacting something socially. You can be smarter, but that doesn't mean you're going to be smarter socially. And why do I think ChatGPT is advancing so much? Is because people are kind of lonely. I'm just being honest. They stay home, they get a little lonely. They want that human reaction, but might not have that right away. So they use something like ChatGPT, which yes, you're talking to someone. I'm not literally, but I mean it seems like it, right? They remember your responses, they know what they're talking about, and that's the catch though. Do they know exactly what they're talking about? So there was a study, Mike Pearl, Mashable, he's like a tech guy. He did a study, and not really even a study. He just used ChatGPT. He was asking him some basic question. One of the questions he asked him was something with one of the countries in Central America. I forget it. And ChatGPT did not know. So some of that human element might be sacrificing for their actual knowledge. And that's kind of an issue too, because if people are using it for Safari and they're going to use those statistics, they got to be right. So that's something they're still going to have to decide. It's almost kind of like the self-driving cars. Like it's a really good idea on paper, but there's some catches to it. Just like with this, it's a really good idea on paper, but if you're not getting the factual information and you're feeling kind of lonely, there's some drawbacks. So like anything new, like any interest, it's good, but in moderation. You got to watch moderation. But what are your overall? I personally have not tried ChatGPT yet. I've just researched it because I wanted to talk about it. But what about you, Jake? Have you tried it? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I haven't tried it either. I've seen multiple stuff online, multiple things online that people are using it to like wake up with their girlfriend or boyfriend or try to ask someone out. They're using it all different ways. I think it could be beneficial. I think it could give you maybe a different way of saying what you want to say to someone. But I also think it could be, the downside of it. I think it could say some things wrong. I think all that stuff could play into it. I think, I don't know what to think of it, honestly. I don't know my um final decision on it. Is it good or bad? I don't know.
So, follow-up question then. Can the internet make you lonely? And why I ask this is because I think especially kids in our generation, like with when COVID happened and we all kind of graduated high school shortly after that, we were kind of just thrown into adult life. Usually it's a little more of an a gradual
Yeah,
descent into
I
it.
wish I wasn't. I wish I
Yeah.
wasn't throwing it to a life.
No,
But
we were just
it
go ahead.
is how it is sometimes.
Yeah, we were just tossed right into it. And why I say
Yeah.
that is because some kids like Jake just hit the ground running. They work full time. They hit the ground running. Myself, of course, I went to school that fall and I've just kept going. Some people did not hit the ground running. That's understandable. You don't want to put yourself at risk, but I think some people got a little too comfortable with COVID life. And I don't know if you can't quite link those two. ChatGPT and wanting to stay home and talk to a realistic
Yeah.
person and just wanting to stay home, there may be a connection. We're not here to speculate about that. But anyways, back to my main question. Do you think the internet could make you lonely though?
I don't know. I really
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I don't know what to think about it at all. I don't know, honestly.
It's probably because it
Um,
depends on personal preference. It's
it
yeah.
it does depend, yeah. That's basically why I don't have an answer for that. It depends, you
Yeah, I
know.
mean, but again, it's like with anything good and an extracurricular activity, kind of like I said earlier, You got to do it in moderation, and you definitely got to, as long as you realize what ChatGPT is, it's a robot, but it's helping you socially maybe. As long as you
Right.
realize what it is, you're good.
Maybe
Which is why,
emotionally too. Maybe
yeah,
emotionally.
yeah, I bet I bet for some people, based on what I've seen on social media, at least, there's been some crazy stories about
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah, there have been some.